Welcome to gardening in my backyard. My name is Stan Fan. It's Saturday morning, temperatures 8 degrees Celsius, or if you prefer 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Just a beautiful day. So after finishing the magnolia garden, we're now remodeling the Pergolia garden. We're going to be taking out lots of the 2 meters rudbeckia, taking out the stone river, all the plants, putting a mat, making it really curvy form, putting the stone river back, planting just all around that stone river path. It's going to be really nice. So please join us and let's take out the stone rivers. The rocks have been mixing with the soil for too long and they're quite dirty, so I just put them in a plastic container and I just wash them with the hose. We've taken out the river stones and the plants that needed to go, and now we're leveling the soil. We're going to be taking this piece, the base of a pine that fell on the ground some time ago during winter. It's going to be now just beside the fence as a decorative piece. It's quite heavy. We have a wheelbarrow full of bricks. We're going to be using this to form the border before we put in the stone rivers. We have made a drawing and a mental picture of our brick border. And sometimes when you do put it on the ground, it can feel right away. Sometimes it can feel awkward. So you make modification until you are satisfied. We have finalized the form of our brick border. Sometimes you do it curvy, other times straight, and we have made the combination. We have the straightness of the pergolia and the curviness of the brick border. I just can't wait to start planting all of our plants around this brick border. Just going to be magnificent. We're standing now beside a fruit tree. It's called quince. It looks more like a bush right now. It gives fruit the size of a pear. It looks like a pear also. It's yellow and green, but when you try to eat it, it's quite difficult. So here we don't see it often, but in Europe apparently they do jams with the fruit. You have to be careful when you're around this tree because it has needles, 2-inch needles, 4-inch apart, and they're quite hard and quite pointy. We will be moving this to the herb garden and pruning it back 80% to make it more manageable. We want our stone bed to be higher than ground level, so we're going to be installing the brick border 1.5 inch higher than ground level also. We have this amazing tool. This will make your job easier to dig your channel. when you add the proper tool, the job is always much easier. Now you make sure that your brick border has a nice curvy look to it. Like that, you just pat the soil on both sides. Now you have a nice brick border. We took out this conifer from another location in the garden, and then we're starting to plant around the brick border now. This would be our most creative garden, the Pergolia garden. It's all curves, it's all foliage. It's very, very interesting to work in the Pergolia garden. So we just started. This is on one side of the garden. So you have Pergolia, you have Ligularia, Asteve, Hosta, some ferns in the back, and the conifer that we brought from another part of the garden. So there's still 85% of the Pergolia garden to be completed. Well, I've placed our plants on the ground. This is not the final composition, so we're doing some tests. We still have to go to the nursery and buy one of those pine trees that we chose. It's really nice. In spring, the new growth comes out red. It's contrasting with the silver of the old growth. So we still have some work to do before we start planting everything. It's time now for the quince to be pruned back a lot. Back, and we plan to put it in the other corner of the garden, but it will just go back maybe 1.5 feet closer to the fence and stay in this area. So let's start pruning. The quince is now a single stem bush or tree. It will grow from the air and outside. It is now much more spectacular. We're now starting to plant a hosta. This is a Francis William, a really nice hosta, big, yellow and green.